So a quick little zone recap from last week, and then talk about earnings for this week, about the charts that I'm interested in. I know it's Halloween, last day of the month. Everyone's busy, so we'll just get a quick little stream in here. But yeah, hopefully everyone had a good day today. It was a really good end of the month. I felt like for most people in the room. Bed Bath was pretty good off open. Tilray was huge. Book had Shop, that was really well, and some SPY calls and puts. My coin weekend swing was up 40% today. Um, SNDL, we caught that one live. So yeah, I'm just gonna go through some of these charts quick from last week, and then note some that I'm looking forward to. We do have FOMC on Wednesday. That is also something everyone should make note of. I'll let Man just tweet the link, so I'll give people another minute or so, and then we'll just run through these zones quick. I do make these zones live every single morning. Myself, Book, and Willie, we do our pre-market live at 8:30 in the morning. I share my screen through Discord, so you guys can watch me make these zones live. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. But yeah, I make these zones live every single morning. I make them after earnings, so if a play has earnings, I'll make them after. So the first one that had earnings last week was Microsoft. Microsoft actually got smoked on earnings, as you guys know. So Microsoft dumped down, bounced here. I went to the 4-hour chart. I made this zone live. I had a supply zone and a demand zone. Never hit the supply zone, but look at how perfect this demand zone was. The first time it hit this zone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. That's pretty remarkable. It never had a single candle print outside of the zone. This is about as good as it gets. So, what up, Meep? So it wicked down 4 times. You could have scalped it every single time it came into the zone. Probably yeah, I know. Man just posted the link. My bad. You probably had to have waited about you would have got a smaller scalp these first couple times, but you could just rinse and repeat. You time it like I said, a ladder system, so try to get your average as close to the bottom of the zone as possible. This one here, 230 all the way up to 233, that was definitely at least a 30 to 40% move on the option contracts. But finally, this last zone tap here, we got around 231. Just barely tapped the zone, and then it ended up actually ripping to 237. So that's a near perfect zone. Like I said, not a single candle print, even a wick, not even a cent, or nowhere outside of the zone. So that's what you want to see. This is a really, really good one. We also had a couple more last week. A couple of them too that I may never even hit. So that's gonna happen, but you kind of just have to take it as what it is. And if they do hit, able to make some money. I know I saw a couple people make some actually good money off this Microsoft zone, so that's pretty sweet. I also made Spotify. Let me see if that one did anything last week. Weeble's charts are always a little funky. Let's see when I made Spotify. Whoops, my bad. So Spotify was on 1026. Went the wrong way. Okay, here's Spotify earnings. This one was a little bit trickier because the name was relatively weak in general. Off open, you could have got this dip this first time it hit the zone around 87.85, and it ended up wicking all the way up to 91. So that was about a $4 move in 5 minutes. So that was a really good one. Came back again here, got about 88, went back up to 91, and then a third time here, went up to 88, came all the way back up to 90. So this was a couple of times you could have scalped. Like I said too, a lot of you guys know how I trade. I'm a scalper. I'm not holding these for hundreds of percents. 30, 40, 50%, that's a huge dub in my mind. I'll take that. I'll rinse and repeat that every single time. So this one gave a couple opportunities. Obviously the more times the zone get tested, it might get a little weaker. It finally broke down. I never retested it for another entry. Sometimes these zones Yeah, never came back up. So Spotify's been really weak, but around four tests of the zone and bounces on the first day. Um, I'm not sure if Google hit. Let's check Google. Google got absolutely smoked off earnings. Yeah, Google got smoked. Google's a tough one. This one was tricky because it did ended up my zone was a little too high in this one, so this one wasn't really a great zone by me. Um, it was a little too high, so it came bounced down here, wicked back up, and then it ended up coming right to the bottom of the zone before it came up. Um, but I wouldn't say this one was a great zone just because of the crazy price action on it. I know we saw Amazon drop 20% and then rebound almost 10-12%. So these have been moving a little weird, but we're still able to get most of them get at least a couple moves on. I don't think Teladoc was another one that was really really weak. If you look at it today, even that's a rejection. That's funny, but it worked. Teladoc was weak. Whoops, keep going the wrong way. Forgot that. So Teladoc, I tried to play the bounce in the zone. It did work. I think I did call this one out, and I think I got 25% maybe on Teladoc. I waited for it to come in my zone here at around 28.24. Ended up bouncing up to 29. So if you think about it, 28.2 to 29 is a pretty good move on options, these cheap ones. So I think I got around 20 to 30 to 40%. I can't remember exactly. Ended up coming back down here in the afternoon. Hit 28. Bounced all the way up to 29 again. That's another good move, 30 to 40%. Ended up breaking down pre-market, but look at this. The next day I'd open, came down and immediately rocketed out of the zone. So you can use these zones the day after or even a couple days after, but obviously they work the best as close to it when they were created. So that Teladoc one paid, Spotify worked, Microsoft worked. Meta didn't even touch my zone on the bounce. I remember that. We did Mans played Meta, so that one was sweet. I can check it. Mans smoked Meta. He bought the dip on that. That one paid nicely. I was in it with him, but I don't believe Meta. Yeah, look how close Meta was to my zone. I had the zone at 97.14. This is always the worst. 97.14, it hits 97.36 and immediately rockets up to 102.5. That would have been well over 100% move if it would have tapped my zone. But you can't complain. It did end up coming back down here at the end of the day and rebounded to 99.5 from 96. So look at these wicks out of the zone. It's crazy. Wicked here even in pre-market. So let's see. I haven't checked Meta in a while. Yeah, Meta's been smoked since. So Meta didn't touch the zone initially, which sucks. But sometimes they're going to be a little close, like a little far, like just so close to the zone. But you don't want to jump the zone, jump the gun, and then it ends up going to the bottom, and you're panic sell or something. So Meta was okay. Apple never hit the zone. Apple immediately ripped. Apple was a monster after earnings. Just blew through everything. So Apple was a banger. Let me check. Amazon, I do remember Amazon short did pay. This one was kind of cool because Mans went long on Amazon right around 9:30, well, my time, right around here. He got like 80% maybe, I think, on the next week cons, and he sold it. Like, he's just a great trader. I don't know why he sold Amazon. He just got a good enough move, or maybe it hit a level, like a resistance level he was watching. But he sold Amazon like basically the top of my zone, and that's where I went short. And these contracts went. I took next week's. The weeklies went well over 100%, but I took next week's, and those went like 20 to 30%. So this one, top of the zone, 102.46, immediately rejected down to VWAP, which is below 100. So this is another one that paid. Came back again. This time it ripped through. Didn't try it that time, but got one move out of it. Let me check. Pinterest, no. So those were the ones from last week. I did take coin over the weekend. That one paid nice at open. But we do have a stacked incredibly stacked earnings week this week. So tomorrow morning, I'm just gonna go through some charts. Tomorrow morning we have SoFi. Um, this one reports in pre-market tomorrow, so definitely keep this name on watch. These Weeble charts are messed up. Last earnings in August, it gapped up almost 50%. This is like a, actually not say 50%. This is like a 30% move, 35% move. So, and this one's all the way back down. If SoFi reports good earnings, it has that room back up. So we have a gap to 6.7 here, a gap up to 6.9, and then obviously that earnings gap. So this is one to watch. It's incredibly beaten down. If you look at the weekly, this was trading at 28, now down to 4. So SoFi is one to watch. They do report tomorrow morning. Another one that reports tomorrow morning is Uber. This chart doesn't really catch my eye much. I guess the downside back to this week 23 maybe if I had to guess, but nothing really in Uber that really catches my eye. Another one tomorrow morning is PFE. This one's also interesting. It's had a nice little ramp up into earnings. It doesn't really tend to move too incredibly well off earnings, so that's why I wasn't really interested in it. It kind of just, look at this like chop, wick, both sides. So it doesn't really make a huge move, but this one, I guess maybe. mRNA tends to move more on earnings than Pfizer, but want to keep on watch. Tomorrow after close, we have AMD. I know a lot of people will be playing this one. This is a name that's been absolutely torched the past, few months since August. It hit 104, and now it's chilling at 60. So, I mean, it has a ton of gaps on this chart. I'm interested to play AMD after earnings. I think chips have just been, weaker with the Taiwan, semiconductor stuff with China and all that. But this one definitely could see a move. If it breaks below lows, it's definitely going to test 50. But if it decides to surprise beat, AMD has a ton of room to the upside. So that's one to watch. That is tomorrow after close. Another one tomorrow after close is Airbnb. Airbnb got nuked today for some reason. I'm not sure why. Maybe just people were selling it before earnings. Last earnings, a little bit of a gap up, nothing too remarkable. That's decent. That's actually pretty solid move after earnings last time. Let's check the time before it. It got absolutely smoked, 140 to like 120. So this one is kind of volatile in both directions. So Airbnb is one to watch. I think if it tests this like 103 level here, it holds as 100 psych. So I'm interested in playing these. I like to wait for after the earnings, kind of have time to kind of read the earnings, kind of see how the price action initially reacts, and then we can make some zones and hopefully make some money off of them. So Airbnb and AMD, those are both tomorrow after close. And then Wednesday after close, we're still running here. We got a ton of earnings. Roku is the first big name Wednesday after close. Wednesday is also FOMC day again. That's at 2 p.m. So please be careful. Today was a great day for us in pre-FOMC, so I'm not complaining about that at all. We have Roku. This one's kind of It has not really going to play this one, but it does move. So look at this gap here. So she has moved up and down. Roku was definitely beat to shit too. If you look at this weekly chart, that's actually incredible that Roku was a $490 stock. That kind of just doesn't even seem real to me. Like that back last June, people were trading Roku at almost $500 and it's now down 90%. So Roku is definitely one to watch. That one is coming up Wednesday after close. Another one Wednesday after close is QCOM. This is another semiconductor chip type of thing that runs with AMD and NVIDIA. So has had a decent run up since that bottom from CPI. Nothing too notable. Obviously it has gaps up above, and then a lot of these kind of are bounced off the bottom. So if they break lows, they're going to flush really hard. I think a lot of these are going to chop and not really make too significant moves. But if this one does go, it has this gap up to 128, 130, 134. So definitely a name to watch. These are all just really good names. Most of them have really liquid options, so people are definitely going to be playing them pre-earnings, which is what we want. Have them juice up the IV for us, and then we could play the bounce or the drop after. Robinhood is also Wednesday. Robinhood has actually had some crazy candles. Robinhood's had a damn near 30% bounce since CPI. Maybe we short this pig. I don't know how it ripped last earnings. How's Robinhood look? Maybe we short Robinhood. I'm not going to really do any lottos. But yeah, Robinhood's been running, huh? Robinhood, it's kind of in the gap. Let's check. Yeah, decent gap back up from a couple months ago or beginning of the year. Don't really like this wick, so Robinhood. That is another one Wednesday after close. The last one Wednesday after close is Etsy. Etsy's this chart. Okay, this does look like if Etsy gives up this 91 level, could definitely see it dropping down to 80. Okay, I'm gonna keep this one on watch. I mean, if Etsy, this one might be one that I could be interested in lotto puts, but at the same time, if it bounces off this level like it did here, it bounced from this level up to 104, bounced off this level here to 120. So if this one's another good one to wait for the day after, if it breaks this level, we're probably gonna see downside to 80. If it bounces off this level, we have a good shot of seeing 105. So this is another chart to keep on watch. The premiums are usually super bloated on Etsy, so probably won't play in that one. Now moving on to Thursday. Thursday morning we have mRNA. mRNA is another one that just had a pretty solid bounce. Yeah, really crazy bounce, 118 to 150. Not really interested in this name. I don't really like how it moves. I don't really have a ton of experience trading it. I'll still make zones for it if it makes a decent move after earnings. But it's not one that I'm going to be really focusing on too much. The like health bio ones are sometimes a little tricky. They move weird. We have D-Dog. I don't really... not really interested in D-Dog. Peloton's also Thursday morning. Peloton... It's this one, the lowest 6.66. That's a little sus, but small gap up, and then room back down to lows. So Peloton Thursday, definitely could see that one making a move. And then we get into the fun ones. PayPal, this one always moves. I feel like PayPal could totally collapse. And they had that news where they could like fine you or charge you or something if you talk bad about them or freeze your money, that crazy stuff. Don't really want to get involved in that, but hey, maybe if I short PayPal, they're gonna restrict my account. I don't know. Definitely has room down to lows. It's kind of been making like lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. So let's see if it keeps that trend and makes a lower low after earnings. Definitely want to watch. And then everyone's favorite, Coin reports Thursday as well. Thursday after close. This one is obviously a trading vehicle for the room. Really gross candle today. That's minus 8% out of nowhere. Wow, I didn't even watch it after I swung those calls over the weekend. But coin, some support here at 61. Yeah, damn. Hopefully this one holds 61 here. If you see this level, this wick here. It held it here, bounced here, here. So 61 level, below that, coin could, not looking too hot, but if it holds this 60 level, it all depends on earnings, obviously, so want to keep on watch. Carvana, another one that's actually beat down to shit that I totally didn't even realize. We were trading Carvana after earnings that one time in the 50s. Now it's back down to 13. That would have been a crazy short. It went like almost 100% in like a week. That would have been a beautiful short. But Carvana, hey, it's squeezed before. I bet shorts are piled in there. Carvana's definitely one that could go again. Keep that on watch. That's Thursday close. And then Friday morning we have Fubo. For what that crazy move, it's crazy, a month in August up to 8. It's kind of been chilling back down here to support below 4. Definitely one that likes to like drop like news, like press releases near before earnings or after earnings. So definitely one that could go. Um, and then we have the last one that I'm watching is DraftKings. I know Book likes to trade this one. This chart definitely looks good. Nice ramp up that held this 12 support. Has room. This first gap I see is 17 and a half. Above that, then it's probably testing 19. So DraftKings is one to watch. So we have about 15 to 20 solid earnings plays that are coming the rest of the week. We have FOMC. If you guys have any questions, I can answer them. Other than that, that's all I got for tonight. I'm excited for the rest of the week. I'm really excited for November. I posted the November challenge, and there's a separate channel for it. Man's posted it on the Twitter page. We're doing like a calendar, November challenge. Whoever has the most green days, if you have, there's 20 or so days in the month. If you're all green, obviously the chance you're going to be first place. But I don't want this to like stress you out. It's just something to be fun. If you have a red day, don't freak out and have it ruin your month. So just something fun, that incentive, for everyone to work hard, be serious about it, and hopefully you guys can get rewarded for your good month. So that's all I have for tonight. I'm gonna go watch the Bucks play in a little bit here. I'll be on live tomorrow morning with Book and Willie, and I'll be making zones for SoFi, Uber, and Pfizer. So I hope you guys all have a great night, and I will catch you guys on Voice tomorrow morning.